If the NHL playoffs started today, in the Eastern Conference, the Atlantic Division, the Boston Bruins would be the number 1 seed. They are 31-10. They have 74 points. Number 2 would be the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're 32-15. They have 69 points. Great number. Number 3, you have the Florida Panthers. They're 29-17. They have 63 points. In the Metro, you have the Washington Capitals. They are 35-13 with 75 points. Number 2, you have the Pittsburgh Penguins. They are 33-14 with 71 points. Number 3, you have the Columbus Blue Jackets out of Ohio. They're 28-16 with 65 points. And in the wild card, you would have the Philadelphia Flyers. They're 29-17 with 65 points. And the New York Islanders, that's awesome. They're 29-15 with 64 points. So those would be the 8 teams in the Eastern Conference playoffs. In the Western Conference playoffs, you would have from the Central Division, the St. Louis Blues. They're 31-14 with 70 points. Number 2, the Dallas Stars. They're 30-18 with 64 points. Number 3, the Colorado Avalanche. They're 28-16 with 62 points. In the Pacific, you would have the Vancouver Canucks. They're 30-18 with 65 points. Edmonton Oilers. They're 28-18 with 62 points. And the Vegas Golden Knights, they're 27-20 with 61 points. And in the wild card, you would have the Calgary Flames, who are 27-20 with 60 points, 6-0. And the Arizona Coyotes, who are 26-21 with 59 points. So I got some stuff I need to clarify. I am still learning how the NHL works. I'll be very honest and transparent. I'm very new to hockey. I'm learning. That's not true. I know hockey. I know how power plays work. I love watching live hockey. I am still new, though, to understanding how the NHL works as a league. And I got something very wrong last time I covered the NHL. I acknowledge it. I admit it. What I was wrong about was the way that points work. I thought it was goals scored. It's not true at all. Here's how points work in the NHL. Points matter because points are what determines the 2 wildcard teams. Out of all the remaining teams left that haven't made it into the first 6 seeds of the playoffs, the final 2 remaining wildcard spots in the NHL playoffs are determined by points. How do you get points? If you win a game, you get 2 points. If you win a game in regulation, bam, 2 points. If you lose a game in regulation, you get 0 points. But you can also get 1 point. After NHL regulation ends, if you're still tied, you go to overtime. And then after 5 minutes of overtime, then you go into a shootout. And if you lose the shootout or you lose in overtime, it's called an overtime loss, where you get 1 point. If you lose a game in overtime, you get 1 point. The winner gets 2 points. The loser in regulation gets 0 points, but the loser in overtime gets 1 point. I really like this because here's why the NHL did this. You want to give a team 1 point because you played a full game, you played overtime, you're doing great, and the score was still tied. You deserve to get something, and I agree with that. So instead of giving teams a tie, we go into shootouts. And shootouts aren't really quite real hockey. And so giving a team a 1 point for an overtime loss is a really cool compromise. It's respectable. It's like, hey, you played a full hockey game. You deserve to get credit for finishing the game, a hard-fought victory. You shouldn't just get a loss. That stinks. We'll give you 1 point for an overtime loss because you fought really hard. Someone had to win, but we respect what you did. I think 1 point for a team that loses in overtime is pretty cool. You lose in regulation, you get 0 points. You win a game, you get 2 points. That is how the NHL points system works. Now, the other thing I want to talk about the NHL, I hope I've been saying NHL, the hockey, we're talking about hockey, okay? Thank you. Okay, we're doing. I watched the NHL All-Star Game. It was interesting, a very enlightening experience. By the way, I want to say it was kind of sad. This is an example of how few people care about hockey, which is kind of sad. And I'm doing my best. I'm covering it. I enjoy hockey. I had a good time. I watched the NHL All-Star Game. And I watched the NHL All-Star Game on YouTube. The entire thing was posted on YouTube. The entire 2-hour video posted on YouTube. And officially posted too. Like, it was a legit thing. They put it there. And it had 300,000 views, which is like solid. I mean, like, for one of my videos, that'd be awesome. I'd love to have 300,000 views. For a league, that's not great. Because in comparison, the NFL skills challenge, which is like quarterbacks running around in tights throwing the ball, like doing like they're doing like obstacle course in the skills challenge. That video from the NFL has 4 million views. The Pro Bowl skill challenge with quarterbacks running through obstacles has 4 million views. Meanwhile, the actual NHL All-Star Game has 300,000. That's kind of sad. A little bit sad. Now, I learned the way that the NHL All-Star Game works is very interesting. I thought it'd be one game. I was expecting one game, East versus West. That is not what happened. I actually ended up watching 3 games, and I got to watch 4 different All-Star teams. The way they do it is they have a Metro team, a Pacific team, an Atlantic team, and a Central team. And they play what they call 3-on-3. It's not really 3-on-3. There are 3 guys and a goalie on each team. Very light defense is played. Nobody really wants to get hurt. No one's playing a lot of pressure on defense or trying to stop anybody. And so what you end up getting to see is a lot of really cool goals. You get to see a lot of cool scoring, a lot of really cool puck maneuverability. It's fun, man. A lot of puck handling is the word I was looking for. Thank you. It's really fun. So I don't know. I enjoyed it though. I will say the game. Here's what happened in the NHL All-Star Game. Game 1, the Atlantic beat the Metro 9-5. Game 2, the Pacific beat the Central Division team 10-5. And you take those 2 games, and the winners of those 2 games play in the final. And in the final, the Pacific Division beat the Atlantic Division. The Pacific beat the Atlantic 5-4. And what they got was the winning team of the final gets $1 million for the whole team. Then you got to break it up between each other. It's like $150,000 and $200,000 each. And just an interesting experience all around to watch the NHL All-Star Game. Very I don't know. It was fun. I will say it was a good time. John Hamm was there. He's kind of balding a little bit. Pam from The Office was there. They were like honorary captains, and I don't know. It just was cool. It was a good time. What I think the NHL All-Star Game is, and All-Star games kind of suck. Like, just be honest. I think All-Star games would be better off not existing. I'd love to have just like a conference where. Here's why All-Star games are cool for the players. If you're a player and you have a 5-year-old daughter, you get to go to St. Louis at the All-Star Game. You get to bring your kids. It's a vacation for them. You get to hang out with your family, and they get to watch their dad run around and hit stuff. I don't know, man. Hockey's fan base is so small. It's kind of sad because I think it's a cool sport that I wish more people understood. I certainly enjoy it. I don't know anything about the NHL itself. I know hockey better than I know the NHL, the league itself, because I've never followed the NHL before. I'm doing my best. I'm going to cover it about every 2 weeks. I'll make a video about it. That's the best I can do. I got a lot of stuff I got to do. I got to watch a lot of film. But hey, making a hockey video every 2 weeks. If nobody watches it, no harm, no foul. And for me, it's fun because I get to learn a little bit about the league and have a good time with it.